Ras Makonnen is a figure whose unique narrative exemplifies the transformative power of resilience and leadership. Emerging from the shadows of solitude, he embarked on a path that not only charted his destiny, but also revitalized a community that had long been abandoned.
Breaking news.
His story invites reflection on the profound impact one individual can wield over the course of history, illustrating themes of isolation, ambition, and the essence of true leadership.
Breaking news.
Before he became a revered leader, Ras Makonnen led the life of a hermit. Nestled in the rugged beauty of the Ethiopian highlands, his early existence was marked by solitude and introspection. This isolation, while it may seem desolate, was a crucible for his character. The silence of his surroundings forced him to confront his innermost thoughts, desires, and fears. As a hermit, Ras Makonnen sought solace away from the distractions of society. It was during these quiet moments of reflection that he honed a vision for himself and for the community around him. He understood that beneath the surface of desolation lay great potential, waiting to be awakened. The lessons learned in these formative years would later shape his approach to leadership, a blend of empathy, strategic foresight, and a commitment to service. The journey of Ras Makonnen is significant not merely for his personal transformation, but for the ripple effect it created within his community. Harnessing the lessons derived from his life of isolation, he transitioned from an individual in search of meaning to a beacon of hope for those around him. The transition was not without its challenges. Extracting himself from the clutches of solitude required immense courage and an unwavering belief in his vision. This evolution embodies the spirit of ambition. Ras Makonnen was not content with merely existing, he aspired to create a legacy. His story serves as an archetype for those seeking to reclaim agency over their lives and the communities they inhabit. In chronicling Ras Makonnen's life, one can identify a juxtaposition between isolation and ambition. On the one hand, his time spent as a hermit exposed him to a sense of disconnection from the world. Isolation. For many, solitude is synonymous with loneliness, yet for Ras Makonnen, it was a fertile ground for cultivation of his inner strength. He learned to harness his thoughts and reflect upon the needs of others, thus preparing him for future leadership roles. Ambition. This isolation birthed a profound ambition to effect change. He envisioned a thriving community that broke free from cycles of despair. Ras Makonnen's leadership was rooted in the very lessons he derived from his hermitic existence. He embraced a leadership style that was inclusive and participatory, understanding that for a vision to take flight, it must resonate with the hearts and minds of the people. His journey from hermit to leader underscores an essential truth about governance. Leadership flourishes when it is grounded in the collective needs and aspirations of the community. Ras Makonnen's early years as a hermit play a crucial role in understanding his transformation from isolation to influential leadership. These formative experiences were instrumental in shaping his philosophies on life, governance, and the values that would later guide his community. The decision to retreat from society was not made lightly by Ras Makonnen. Various motivations fueled his choice to embrace a solitary existence. Search for inner peace. His initial escape was driven by a yearning for tranquility. The chaotic nature of society often stifled deeper contemplation. The serene landscapes of the Ethiopian highlands provided him a sanctuary where he could explore his thoughts and emotions.
Breaking news.
By stepping away from communal distractions, Ras Makonnen sought an opportunity to delve into self-reflection. He wanted to understand his purpose in a world that seemed increasingly disconnected from meaningful engagement. Ras Makonnen understood that wisdom could be cultivated not just from books, but from experience and observation as well. His hermitic lifestyle allowed him to study nature and human behavior without the interference of societal norms. The times of solitude led him to a spiritual awakening. In the quietude of his surroundings, he felt a deeper connection to the universe and the threads of humanity that bind individuals together. Living as a hermit required significant adaptability, and Ras Makonnen developed a lifestyle that embraced simplicity. Sustenance. He relied on what nature provided. Foraging for edible plants, hunting small game, and gathering water from nearby streams became essential daily activities. This self-sufficient lifestyle helped him cultivate resilience and appreciate the inherent value of nature. Pursuit of knowledge. The isolation allowed Makonnen to immerse himself in spiritual texts and philosophical treatises. He often said that nature was the greatest teacher, and he would spend hours observing animal behaviors, reflecting on life lessons gleaned from these interactions. Ritual and routine. He established a daily routine that involved meditation, reflection, and journaling. These rituals helped him clarify his thoughts and intentions, creating a disciplined structure that would play a significant role in his leadership skills later on. Connection with nature. For Makonnen, nature was more than a backdrop. It was a companion. The changing seasons, the rhythm of animal life, and the cycles of the earth influenced his perspectives on time, community, and existence. The time Makonnen spent in solitude allowed him to incubate philosophies that would guide him when he returned to society. One of the most profound insights was the realization of interconnectedness. He understood that every individual, like a strand in a web, affects the whole. This awareness of dependency would inform his governance. He recognized the importance of fostering community ties that promote mutual support. His experiences led to a belief that effective leadership is rooted in empathy. He developed a philosophy that leaders should strive to understand the concerns and aspirations of those they govern. This insight was shaped by his contemplative nature. He knew firsthand the struggles that people faced in both solitude and community. Makonnen formulated his views on the importance of vision and strategy. His isolation allowed him to ponder long-term goals for both himself and a future community. He recognized that a leader without a vision is akin to a ship without a rudder. Through challenges faced in solitude, from navigating harsh weather to enduring loneliness, he cultivated resilience. This strength would later manifest in his ability to lead others through trials and tribulations, inspiring confidence in times of uncertainty. Makonnen's transformation during his Hermitic years created a solid foundation upon which he would build his future community. His time alone made him acutely aware of the benefits of collaboration. He learned that individuals working together could achieve what one person alone could not. He would advocate shared responsibilities in governance, emphasizing guidance rather than control. Empowerment of the individual. He recognized that every individual possesses unique strengths. In his future leadership, he aimed to empower others by recognizing and nurturing their capabilities, ensuring no voice was left unheard. Balance between individual and community needs. The duality of his experiences as a hermit underscored the importance of balancing individual desires with communal welfare. In his governance philosophy, he stressed that personal freedom should coexist with communal responsibility. Makonnen's years as a hermit were essential in forging a deeper understanding of himself and the values that would guide him into a future of leadership. Through introspection, he developed a rich philosophical framework that would not only define his leadership style, but also inspire a community that thirsted for a new direction. Makonnen's transformation from hermit to leader was propelled by observing the societal issues surrounding him, even from the isolation of his retreat. While he was engaged in deep introspection, the world beyond his secluded existence was grappling with numerous challenges that would ultimately inspire him to leave his sanctuary and embark on a mission to build a thriving kingdom. During Makonnen's years of solitude, Ethiopia was facing political unrest. The central authority was weakening, leading to power struggles between regional leaders and clashing factions. This fragmentation sowed seeds of instability and left the populace in a state of vulnerability. Struggles for power. Factional leaders vied for control, often at the expense of the people's welfare. This power struggle contributed to a sense of lawlessness, where citizens found themselves caught in the crossfire, enduring violence and displacement. Corruption and distrust. Corruption thrived amid the chaos, causing disillusionment among the populace. Leaders had become more self-serving than community-oriented, eroding the trust essential for societal cohesion. The lack of effective governance left many communities to fend for themselves, struggling without basic services, protection, or support. It became clear to Ras Makonnen that the absence of strong leadership was contributing to widespread despair. Beyond the political turmoil, Ras Makonnen was acutely aware of the social injustices prevalent in society. Through observation, he recognized deep-rooted issues affecting various segments of the community, revealing a dire need for change. Economic disparity was rampant, leading to an ever-widening gap between the wealthy elite and impoverished masses. Many people lacked access to basic resources such as education, healthcare, and employment opportunities. Social stratification often marginalized certain groups, curbing their voices and autonomy. Ethnic tensions simmered, exacerbating divisions and further complicating the landscape for those seeking equity and justice. With society fractured and individuals feeling disillusioned, a crisis of identity emerged. Communities struggled to maintain cohesion as traditional values eroded under external pressures. Ras Makonnen's reflections on these societal challenges ignited his desire to return to the world that he had distanced himself from. He recognized a distinct calling, propelled by the thought that he could use his experiences and insights to impact both individual lives and the community at large. The realization that he held the potential to catalyze change became a driving force behind his decision to emerge from his isolation. His time as a hermit allowed Ras Makonnen to cultivate a clear vision of community renewal. He envisioned a society where individuals could collaborate, revitalizing ties that had been frayed by discord. His hermitic philosophies underscored the belief that a united community could overcome the inertia brought about by years of neglect. Witnessing the injustices across the land fueled his commitment to establishing a governance that prioritized justice and resilience. This commitment became a hallmark of his leadership style, a compassionate yet firm approach that actively engaged with the people's needs and aspirations. Recognizing the potential within those who had long been sidelined, he was inspired to build a platform not only for their voices, but also for their empowerment. It became clear to him that true leadership must prioritize those without representation, making their struggles central to the vision he sought to realize. Ras Makonnen's departure from his hermitic existence was a calculated and meaningful step, one that was motivated by a profound desire to contribute toward the betterment of society. Armed with observations and insights from his years of solitude, he initially approached his return with caution and strategy. He sought out individuals who shared his vision, forming alliances with like-minded individuals prepared to engage in collective action. These initial connections would prove crucial in laying down the foundations of a new governance model. Ras Makonnen took time to assess the needs and concerns of the communities he aimed to serve. By engaging with residents, he ensured that his forthcoming leadership would be responsive rather than prescriptive, placing emphasis on grassroots involvement in decision-making. His vision crystallized into actionable strategies, fostering inclusivity, bridging gaps of inequality, and establishing systems that encouraged accountability and transparency within leadership. He recognized that rebuilding a cohesive, resilient community would require innovative approaches, blending traditional values with contemporary needs. Ras Makonnen's observations of political unrest and social injustices fueled a fire within him, leading to a determination to effect meaningful change. The societal realities he confronted became the catalysts for his return, a return brimming with purpose, vision, and the promise of renewal for a community yearning for leadership. Through perseverance and courage, Ras Makonnen set forth to transform not only his own destiny, but that of countless others. As Ras Makonnen transitioned from his solitary life as a hermit back into society, he faced not only the task of reclaiming his own identity, but also the challenge of building a following among those who yearned for leadership and change. His ability to gather diverse followers would become one of the defining aspects of his journey, showcasing his remarkable knack for inspiring and rallying individuals from various backgrounds toward a common goal. Ras Makonnen's return was not met with widespread acceptance. Rather, it posed a challenge that required nuanced strategies to engage with potential followers. Recognizing the fragile state of the community, he embarked on a mission to unite people through shared aspirations and collective efforts. Central to his approach was the establishment of a shared vision for a revitalized society where collaboration and mutual support would be pivotal. This vision was rooted in the principles he absorbed during his years of solitude, that resilience, empathy, and community spirit could be the foundation for a thriving society. Ras Makonnen distinguished himself from many traditional leaders through his approachability. He eschewed the aloofness often associated with authority figures and instead engaged openly with people. By listening to their stories and understanding their struggles, he fostered a sense of camaraderie that drew individuals to him. One of the most remarkable aspects of Makonnen's leadership was the diverse backgrounds of his followers, who each brought their unique motivations to the movement. This diversity not only enriched his leadership but also provided a vibrant tapestry of skills, perspectives and experiences essential for building a resilient kingdom. Many of Makonnen's followers hailed from agrarian communities devastated by neglect and economic strife. They were motivated by the promise of renewed agricultural practices and fair trade that Makonnen promised to implement, seeking stability in a nation where their livelihoods had long been threatened. Skilled artisans and craftsmen were drawn to Makonnen's vision of a cooperative economy that would elevate their crafts, providing them with opportunities to showcase their skills beyond their local enclaves. They hoped that through his leadership trade would flourish, connecting artisans to broader markets. Individuals who had suffered discrimination and social injustice found in Makonnen a champion for their causes. His empathetic take on governance assured them that their voices would be heard, sparking hope among those who faced systemic issues that marginalized them within society. Involved in the turmoil of shifting powers, many refugees sought a new home. They identified with Makonnen's struggle for community and viewed his inclusive governance as an antidote to their trials. The promise of help and a fresh start resonated deeply within this group, who aspired for peace and belonging. Scholars and thinkers recognized Makonnen's potential as a leader who valued knowledge and wisdom. They rallied around his vision not only to support him but to help formulate ideas and strategies that would govern a new society built on fairness and innovation. As individuals began to rally around Makonnen, their motivations varied but shared common threads of hope and desire for change. Many followers saw their commitment as a way to forge a legacy of transformation. They were inspired by Makonnen's journey, a testament to the potential for change, thereby motivating them to join him in creating a better future. Followers were drawn to the concept of community empowerment. Makonnen's commitment to involving every voice and talent allowed individuals to feel invested and connected to the collective aspirations of the community. For many, the experience of struggling against various societal challenges was a unifying force. Joining Makonnen represented not only a chance to navigate these adversities together, but also an opportunity to rise above them collectively. The disenfranchised, in particular, found promise in Makonnen's pledge to give them a voice. His commitment to justice and equity resonated with those who had long been oppressed, leading them to view his leadership as a platform for true representation. As Makonnen began to garner a diverse group of followers, he understood that inspiring action required more than just an appealing vision. He actively fostered a spirit of collaboration, urging followers to not merely be passive supporters, but active participants in their unfolding story. He organized community assemblies wherein individuals could bring forth their ideas, concerns, and suggestions. This not only empowered followers, but also established a sense of ownership over the vision they were working toward. Taking full advantage of the varied skills among his followers, Makonnen encouraged collaboration across different sectors, from agriculture to crafts and education. By fostering a culture of skill sharing, he underscored the importance of collective efforts toward a common goal. To symbolize this newfound unity and collaboration, Makonnen instilled a communal philosophy where everyone would work together in harmony, emphasizing that true progress could only be realized through connectedness rather than isolation. Makonnen's leadership style served as a beacon, wherein he led not through authority alone, but through example. This approach not only solidified loyalty, but also inspired followers to embody collective principles in their daily actions. His actions reflected humility, exemplifying the principle that effective leaders serve those they lead. By sharing in the labor and struggles of the community, he cultivated respect and dedication among his followers. Makonnen prioritized personal and communal growth, urging followers to learn from each other and embrace challenges as opportunities for development. His vision for an educated and skilled populace inspired many to actively seek knowledge and self-improvement. Central to Makonnen's ideology was the core belief that empowerment fostered agency. He motivated followers to embrace their inherent strengths, leading them to view challenges not merely as obstacles but as stepping stones to success. Through sincere engagement and empathetic leadership, Makonnen managed to weave together a grassroots movement imbued with a sense of purpose and unity. The collective spirit of these diverse followers became the bedrock on which he would build a thriving kingdom. The followers, driven by varying motivations, found common ground in their goals. They collectively aspired to create a cohesive society, culminating in a movement rooted in empathy, collaboration, and resilience. As they joined ranks, the stories of each individual's struggles, hopes, and aspirations converged into a rich narrative that would inspire many more. Each follower's journey reinforced the significance of their shared vision to bring about transformative change. As Ras Makonnen's movement gained momentum, individuals began to take on supportive leadership roles based on their strengths, further embedding collaborative governance into the community structure. They became mentors, teachers, and advocates, solidifying the foundation for sustained progress. In gathering a rich tapestry of followers, Ras Makonnen showcased the power of unity amidst diversity. His ability to inspire individuals to come together for a common cause stands as a timeless testament to the strength of resilient leadership and the transformative potential that lies within the human spirit. With a vision to breathe life back into a community fraught with despair, Ras Makonnen took his first steps towards establishing a kingdom that would embody the principles of unity, resilience, and equity. This section unfolds the strategic foundation he laid during this pivotal phase, outlining the location, governance structure, laws, and the challenges he faced as he sought to unify and uplift his people. The selection of the right location for his kingdom was a vital decision. Ras Makonnen understood that the geographic and cultural landscape would greatly influence the kingdom's future. Ras Makonnen chose a lush valley bordered by hills and mountains which provided natural protection against potential invasions while offering fertile land for agriculture. This ensured the sustenance of his community and allowed them to cultivate their own food, reinforcing the spirit of self-reliance. The valley also had historical significance, being a crossroads for trade routes connecting various ethnic groups. By choosing this location, he set the stage for a melting pot of cultures, welcoming together diverse peoples and ideas, which would foster a vibrant and dynamic community. The governance model envisioned by Ras Makonnen was one built on inclusivity and shared leadership. He recognized that effective governance must resonate with the needs and aspirations of the community. Understanding the wisdom contained within the elders of various communities, Ras Makonnen established a council of elders. This body served as an advisory group, ensuring that decisions were not solely made by a singular leader, but through collective wisdom. Each community was represented, providing diverse perspectives. Beyond the council, he advocated for participatory governance, encouraging citizens to voice their concerns and contribute to decision-making processes. Regular assemblies were organized where community members could discuss local issues and propose solutions, thereby fostering a sense of ownership in governance. To ensure efficiency in governance, Ras Makonnen delineated specific roles and responsibilities. Leaders were chosen based on merit and capability rather than lineage, allowing for a more meritocratic system. This was exemplified in the roles of agricultural leaders, trade representatives, and social advocates who acted as liaisons between the government and the people. The legal framework Ras Makonnen established was aimed at promoting justice, equity, and communal welfare, which were cornerstones of his vision. Laws of equity. Ras Makonnen prioritized the creation of laws that ensured equitable treatment for all citizens, regardless of their background. Discrimination based on ethnicity or social status was banned, reinforcing the idea that everyone had a voice and a right to participate in community affairs. Community engagement. Drafting these laws involved significant community engagement. Public discussions were held where community members could express concerns and share ideas on what they deemed necessary for a just society. This participatory approach solidified collective buy-in and trust in the legal system. Crisis Response Protocol. Understanding that challenges would arise, Ras Makonnen introduced a crisis response protocol to handle disputes and emergencies effectively. This included establishing mediators within the communities who would work to resolve conflicts amicably without resorting to violence. Educational laws. Recognizing the importance of education, laws promoting the establishment of community learning centers were set in motion. All children were entitled to education, ensuring that future generations would be equipped with knowledge and skills to sustain and grow the kingdom. The road to building a thriving kingdom was fraught with challenges that tested Ras Makonnen's resilience and leadership. Resistance from traditionalists. One of the first hurdles Ras Makonnen encountered was resistance from traditionalists who resisted changes to long-established societal structures. Many saw his ideas for a meritocratic and inclusive governance system as a threat to their power and influence. Overcoming resistance. To address these concerns, Ras Makonnen emphasized dialogue. He organized forums where traditional leaders could express their fears while engaging in constructive discussions about how the new governance would integrate valuable traditional practices with progressive ideas. Economic instability. The transitioning community faced significant economic instability. Many people were initially skeptical of communal farming initiatives and collaborative trading models, fearing loss of individual autonomy over resources. Building trust through collaboration. To counter this skepticism, Makonnen spearheaded pilot collaborative projects that involved multiple families. With tangible success stories illustrating increased crop yields and improved trade outcomes, community sentiment shifted from skepticism to enthusiasm for cooperative efforts. The geographic location of the kingdom brought its own set of challenges, such as unpredictable weather patterns affecting harvests. Recognizing the impact of environmental fluctuations, Makonnen encouraged sustainable agricultural practices. Throughout these challenges, Makonnen's unwavering determination served as a beacon of hope. He instilled a culture of resilience among his followers, emphasizing that they were partners in the kingdom's success. Fostering community spirit. Makonnen understood the importance of solidarity. Community-building activities such as harvest festivals and communal projects were scheduled to foster camaraderie and celebrate their successes no matter how small. Encouraging mutual support, Makonnen established support networks for families experiencing difficulties, ensuring that no one faced hardships alone. This culture of mutual aid further strengthened the bonds among community members, deepening their commitment to the kingdom's success. Modeling leadership. By being present and engaged in community works, Makonnen continued to model servant leadership, inviting everyone to play a role in shaping the future of their kingdom. This hands-on approach inspired many to rise to leadership roles themselves, creating an environment ripe for innovation and collaboration. As Makonnen laid the foundations for his kingdom, he wove a narrative of hope and resilience that would drive the community forward. Through strategic governance, inclusive laws, and a focus on unity, he began transforming not only his own life, but the lives of those around him, nurturing a legacy that would flourish for generations. As Makonnen embarked on his mission to construct a vibrant kingdom, he approached the challenge with profound consideration of the societal elements necessary for development. His time as a hermit had instilled in him a deep understanding of community dynamics which would fundamentally influence the culture, education, and community values of his newly formed society. The cultural landscape of Makonnen's kingdom was a melding of diverse traditions and practices, reflective of the various communities that were drawn into this new societal structure. He viewed culture as the bedrock of unity, and it was essential that customs and narratives celebrated the shared experience of his people. Integration of traditions. Makonnen recognized that the valley he chose was a junction for multiple ethnic groups. He encouraged the amalgamation of folklores, rituals, and art forms, creating a rich tapestry that honored each community's unique heritage. This celebration fostered a strong sense of belonging and identity, ensuring that no group felt marginalized. Cultural festivals. To solidify this cultural amalgamation, Makonnen implemented a series of festivals that showcased the distinct traditions of various ethnic groups. These events encouraged mutual appreciation, offering cooking competitions, storytelling sessions, and music and dance showcases that highlighted the diverse talents within the kingdom. Artistic expression. Artistic pursuits were heavily promoted as a means of both individual expression and collective identity. Workshops in music, painting, and sculpting provided outlets for creativity, while also forging connections among citizens. The shared appreciation of the arts reinforced community bonds and encouraged collaboration. Makonnen placed a significant emphasis on education as a cornerstone for building a knowledgeable society that could support sustainable growth and innovation. His experiences during his Hermitic years convinced him of the importance of accessible education for all. Establishment of learning centers. Schools were established in each community to ensure educational opportunities for every child. Makonnen drew on local knowledge and skills, engaging community members as teachers to share their expertise in agriculture, craftsmanship, and trade, thereby making learning relevant and grounded in real-world applications. Focus on lifelong learning. Education was not simply confined to children. Makonnen introduced programs for adults as well. Literacy classes, vocational training, and seminars on leadership helped bridge knowledge gaps, allowing the entire community to grow together. This focus on personal and professional development promoted a culture of lifelong learning. Civic education. A key component of the educational curriculum was civic education, where citizens learned about governance, rights, responsibilities, and community values. By cultivating informed citizens, Makonnen aimed to empower individuals to actively participate in the governance of their kingdom. Makonnen's leadership philosophy was deeply rooted in values that prioritized empathy, cooperation, and justice. He understood that nurturing these values within the community was essential for cultivating a sense of ownership and collective responsibility. Empathy and understanding. Central to Makonnen's vision was the belief that empathy should guide interactions among community members. He encouraged open dialogues where citizens could share their grievances, struggles, and aspirations. This collective understanding cultivated compassion, encouraging people to support each other in times of need. Collective responsibility. The challenge of building a society from the ground up required a spirit of collective responsibility. Makonnen stressed the importance of each citizen's role in the community's welfare. Programs that involved volunteers from various backgrounds working together on communal projects reinforced this ethos. Conflict resolution. Drawing from his experiences, Makonnen instituted conflict resolution mechanisms founded on dialogue and mediation, rather than confrontation. Trained community mediators facilitated discussions, helping individuals arrive at mutually beneficial solutions. This approach led to a more harmonious community where individuals felt heard and valued. Makonnen's philosophies gleaned from his days as a hermit became the guiding principles for governance and daily life in the kingdom. Their echoes resonated in the structures he established and the values he promoted. Self-reliance and resilience. Inspired by his solitary experiences, Makonnen instilled a culture of self-reliance and resilience. He equipped citizens with skills to thrive in adversity, encouraging entrepreneurship and innovation that could respond to challenges. His emphasis on resilience solidified a communal identity rooted in strength and adaptability. Interconnectedness and community. His deep contemplation led to a realization of interconnectedness, the idea that the well-being of one is tied to the well-being of all. This understanding influenced his governance and community-building strategies. Leadership was viewed as stewardship, whereby those in power served as caretakers for the greater good. Visionary leadership. Makonnen's hermetic reflections fostered a visionary approach to leadership. He constantly encouraged citizens to envision future possibilities, motivating them to aspire for personal growth and community advancement. His commitment to a shared vision created a partnership between leadership and the citizenry. In summary, the societal framework established under Makonnen was an intricate blend of cultural celebration, educational priorities, and profound community values. Each of these elements was essential in fostering a kingdom that thrived on mutual respect, shared aspirations, and collaborative governance, embodying the very essence of Makonnen's leadership principles. The stories that emerged from this kingdom became intertwined with the lives of its citizens, crafting a legacy of resilience that would be echoed through generations. Makonnen's journey toward establishing a thriving kingdom was fraught with internal and external conflicts that tested his resilience and leadership abilities. These struggles, ranging from rival factions to resource shortages, profoundly shaped his vision and approach to governance. Internal conflicts. Despite his charismatic leadership style and shared vision, Makonnen faced substantial internal conflicts. These challenges stemmed from the diverse backgrounds of his followers, each bringing their own perspectives and interests. Factional tensions. The amalgamation of various ethnic and cultural groups within the kingdom introduced a level of factionalism that continually threatened unity. Different communities often had conflicting interests rooted in their historical grievances and aspirations. Disparities in power. Some groups felt underrepresented in governance, leading to dissatisfaction among those who believed their voices were being sidelined. This disparity bred resentment, and whispers of dissent began to circulate, potentially undermining the cooperative spirit Makonnen sought to instill. Negotiating loyalties. Navigating these tensions required Makonnen to balance multiple alliances. He had to continually renegotiate loyalties to ensure stability within the kingdom. This delicate maneuvering pulled him in various directions, often leading to moral dilemmas about favoritism and equal representation. Resource allocation. As the kingdom began to flourish, the issue of resource allocation came to the forefront. Ensuring equitable access to resources became increasingly challenging, leading to conflicts among followers. Disagreements on priorities. With finite resources, differing opinions on how to prioritize projects emerged, whether it be agricultural initiatives or infrastructural development. Discontent brewed among those who felt their community's needs were being overlooked in favor of others. Economic disparities. The vision of a cooperative economy faltered at times due to disparities in wealth among the citizens. A few well-off families enjoyed significant advantages, which incited jealousy and dissatisfaction among those struggling to make ends meet. Beyond internal strife, Ras Makonnen confronted a myriad of external challenges that threatened the fragile foundation of his kingdom. The political landscape outside Ras Makonnen's kingdom was rife with rival factions seeking to exploit vulnerabilities. Historical animosities and unresolved rivalries among neighboring communities posed constant threats. Some traditionalists, feeling threatened by Ras Makonnen's reforms, sought to undermine his authority by rallying dissent among disillusioned communities. Their strategies included manipulating narratives to frame Ras Makonnen as an outsider, unappreciative of ancestral customs. Surrounding kingdoms viewed Ras Makonnen's burgeoning influence with suspicion. As his kingdom began to grow economically and socially cohesive, neighboring factions feared that an empowered Ras Makonnen could challenge their dominance. This perception led to increased tensions at borders, fraught with distrust and fear of aggression. As the kingdom began to expand, unanticipated environmental challenges arose, further complicating Ras Makonnen's leadership. Impact of climate variability. Fluctuating weather patterns severely impacted agricultural output. Crop failures due to drought or floods threatened the kingdom's food security, resulting in shortages that could sow dissent among the populace. Resource management challenges. With the growth of the kingdom, the demand for resources surged. Water scarcity became particularly acute as new agricultural initiatives expanded. Managing this demand while addressing the needs of the existing population proved a formidable task, inciting conflicts when communities found themselves competing for dwindling supplies. These numerous struggles, both internal and external, had profound implications for Ras Makonnen's leadership. Ras Makonnen's experiences with conflict necessitated adjustments to his original vision. He learned that flexibility and adaptive strategy were essential for addressing the multifaceted challenges of governance. Faced with resource shortages, Ras Makonnen started implementing innovative agricultural techniques, such as crop rotation and water conservation practices. These adaptations not only addressed immediate needs, but they also fostered a culture of resilience among his followers. In response to factional tensions, Ras Makonnen initiated dialogue sessions. These discussions, which promoted understanding and empathy, served as forums for conflict resolution, encouraging disparate groups to find common ground. Ras Makonnen recognized that his leadership would succeed not solely through his authority, but through the collective strength of the community. Thus, he employed strategies that reinforced unity and collaboration. To mitigate economic disparities, Ras Makonnen introduced programs that encouraged wealthier families to invest in community projects, thereby redistributing resources and creating a sense of shared responsibility. By involving community members in decision-making processes, Ras Makonnen nurtured an environment where empathy for others' struggles became foundational to the kingdom's identity. Promoting collaboration on communal projects bolstered social ties, creating a more cohesive community. Through navigating these diverse conflicts, Ras Makonnen emerged not just as a leader, but as a symbol of resilience. His ability to adapt his strategies, engage with diverse interests, and foster a spirit of unity became pivotal in solidifying both his leadership and the future of the kingdom. The trials faced not only tested his leadership, but ultimately forged a stronger sense of community, embodying the tenacity that characterized his journey from solitude to a thriving ruler. Ras Makonnen's journey from hermit to leader culminated in the establishment of a kingdom that went beyond mere governance. It fostered a vibrant community imbued with shared values, resilience, and collective growth. One of the most profound aspects of Ras Makonnen's legacy lies in the transformative influence of his time as a hermit. This period of solitude was instrumental in shaping his understanding of human nature, community dynamics, and the importance of empathy in leadership. Reflecting on solitude, Makonen's hermit years afforded him the opportunity to introspect, allowing him to cultivate a deep understanding of himself and the world around him. This reflection produced several critical insights that informed his leadership, empathy as a foundation. His experiences with solitude fostered a strong sense of empathy. Upon returning to society, Makonnen placed significant emphasis on understanding the needs and challenges faced by his people, bridging the gap between leader and follower. Visionary thinking. Unencumbered by the chaos of social distractions, he was able to visualize a community united by shared goals and common aspirations. This vision became the cornerstone of his leadership strategy as he aspired to bring people together. He understood that obstacles could either dishearten or galvanize a community, often choosing the latter to inspire collective perseverance. The principles he derived from solitude found their way into his governance model, creating a legacy characterized by inclusivity and compassion. Makonnen established systems that engaged citizens in meaningful dialogues about their lives, ensuring that everyone had a stake in decisions impacting their community. Understanding the importance of conflict resolution, he implemented mechanisms that encouraged discussion and mediation over confrontation, fostering harmony and understanding. Makonnen's legacy extends beyond his immediate achievements. It is woven into the very fabric of the community he built. Future generations continue to draw upon the lessons derived from his leadership journey. Makonnen's celebration of the diverse cultures within his kingdom stands as a testament to the strength found in unity. Future leaders are encouraged to embrace inclusivity, valuing different perspectives as assets that enrich communal life. Makonnen championed the idea that collective success is interlinked with individual accountability. Resilience and adaptability. The importance of resilience in the face of adversity remains a core tenet of the community's identity. His unyielding spirit in dealing with challenges serves as a guiding light, inspiring individuals to persevere and innovate when confronted with difficulties. Governance models. Based on Makonnen's principles, Makonnen's emphasis on participatory governance has influenced successive leaders within his kingdom. Collaborative leadership. His approach to governance that favored consultation and engagement continues to be a model for democratic leadership, ensuring that every voice is heard. Focus on education. Recognizing education as a catalyst for empowerment, Makonnen's legacy emphasizes the importance of accessible and equitable education for all, inspiring leaders to prioritize knowledge as essential for community growth. The personal touch of leadership. Makonnen's personal style of leadership resonates as a unique aspect of his legacy. Commitment to service. Makonnen's belief in servant leadership remains an enduring lesson. Fostering emotional bonds. By prioritizing emotional connections within the community, Makonnen established a culture centered around support, trust, and solidarity. Influence on succession and continuity. Makonnen's influence is evident in the selection and guidance of subsequent leaders within his kingdom. Training future leaders. Understanding the importance of mentorship, Makonnen focused on developing future leaders who embodied his values. Establishing leadership councils. Makonnen's legacy also includes the establishment of leadership councils that encourage diverse representation and equitable decision-making. Conclusion. Makonnen's legacy is marked by a profound ability to transform personal struggle into communal strength. The ideals born from his journey highlight the timeless importance of resilience, empathy, and the impact of one individual on the lives of many. His story continues to inspire, offering lessons that resonate with all who seek to create positive change in their communities.